Good day, everyone. Welcome back to a new episode of Path of Exile with me, EclecticAndrew the Gamer, our good little witchy here, Eclectic Witchy. And it has been about 2 months since I've touched this game with this character. So sorry. So forgive me if I'm missing some things or if some things are different. I think I may have done a couple things off screen, such as crafting this armor that I picked up somewhere in one of the maps. Very nice looking. I plan on switching it out for the Ghost Wraith, with the Ghost Wraith, and equipping my Connect Blast into it. I believe I also used one of the embers from either the Exarch, probably the Exarch because it's red, and got that 4% increased damage per power charge. So that's very nice. And I figure I have all these maps on me, so I figure I might as well, and I'm almost up a level, I might as well decide to dive on in. Just dive right on in. Let's start with a warm-up and jump on into a low-tier map really quick. Just as a warm-up. Get my feet wet back into the game of endgame mapping. Endgame playing Path of Exile with me, EclecticAndrew the Gamer. Yes sir, yes sir, yes sirree. So actually a very nice thing about that armor is it brought up my evasion up to 5,000, so that should help with a few things. Brought up my resistances a bit. Not my chaos resistance, it brought that down. So that will be a little tougher to deal with coming up. But it did raise the electrical and ice and fire quite a bit. Which, still the lightning resistance looks a little rough. It looks like I may have hit onto the ice breach monsters, so that'd be nice. I think they're ice. No, they're ash, so that's lightning. Ironic. I'm killing quite a few of them, so that's nice, though. Finished a breach without dying, that's pretty nice. Pretty nice, pretty nice, pretty nice. Let's see what else we can do with this map. Pick up that nice little arena map. Oh, if you're following, well, I wanted to tell you, since I had a small break for a little while. For one thing, I went out of town, so I was unavailable to Let's Play. But I was thinking I might be leaving videos running, but however, it didn't work out that way, so I took a small break from YouTube and everything, putting videos available on YouTube to watch for all you guys. And the reason why it didn't work is because I ran into a small problem with my computer, and something that Let's Players, I guess, end up with a problem being is running out of disk space to make more videos, to record more videos. And I was a little upset for a while, so I kind of took the vacation I took off to think about it, decide what to do. And so I will tell you for sure now, if you ever are interested in me updating any of my old videos to better quality or anything, please do not be, because I have deleted the videos and everything from my older videos, so I can no longer remaster them or anything else. If I were to do another Let's Play of those old games, I would have, well, I mean, I probably will someday, in some different version, but they will be completely new Let's Plays, of course. Completely fresh. Fresh talking, fresh talking, fresh jive talking. So, also that means if anything happens to the the social media sites I'm putting these videos up on now, if anything happens to them or they start deleting videos en masse to save up their space or make room for their money making products, I'm out of luck. So those videos will be lost to all of time. I might be able to save them in some fashion. I'm not sure what I would do, or how to do, or what to do, or why to do. But maybe I'll come up with something in the following years. In the coming years. Whatever years we will do anything with whatever, or do anything with anything. Anything at all. Well, just like deciding to delete those videos and everything, the project files and everything, we will decide what to do at a later time and date. When it becomes necessary, I assume, to deal with something like that. I'm glad I've taken on this map, though. I've almost leveled up my witchy. That's very nice. Always looking forward to leveling up witchies. Although I did notice something when I was looking around just a moment ago, before I started the video.
When I'm ready, and not before.
I seem to have on my witchy the ability on her passive tree to respec a point. And then also I see, and I remember from seeing it, that I was going towards the certain mastery point for the armory energy shield node. And I guess I could do that, just to see how it works out, and like I said before, I believe, in the Let's Play, if I wasn't happy with how it worked out getting that mastery node, then I will respec out of it. And I believe I know what I want to do next with the tree, with the passive skill tree. Jeez, there's a lot of shit going on here. Nope. Oh, shoot fire. Not clarity. Oh well. We can fix it. We can fix that XP. Just gonna leave now. Because of the, what is it? The 4% increased damage per power node, power charge on critical, dealing more damage per power charge. I believe I have something else that increases power damage per power charge. So I'm gonna go up on the tree towards the power node. Towards the node of the power charge for the witchy to increase the damage even more so, and then take the mastery point in order to increase, yet again, the damage per power charges. Actually, that mastery node increases it for all charges, so if I were to get even more charges than just power charges, I would be a very big cannon. Although I think that the Ember enchantment that I put on my helmet, that it worked very well in giving me a place to go towards in this tree planning. Because of my break, I decided when I came back to start boosting on my social media some more with some more postings. I was hesitant initially with Path of Exile on, say, Facebook, because, well, I mean, you can see it every now and then that there are booby monsters with big old flappy boobs flapping around in the game, such as the tentacle miscreations in the Lunaris Temple. And I was like, maybe this isn't too mature a game. I mean, there are monsters with bones splitting out of them, and there's a lot of blood and gore sometimes flying around, depending on what you're doing, or you could face a monster that casts bleeding on you and decides you're gonna be spraying blood all over the place. So, yeah, I'm like, this is kind of a mature game, and I don't know if Facebook would be happy with that. And for now, I'm just gonna leave it how I'm doing it now, where I am posting the videos even on Facebook and X, formerly Twitter, if you're into that kind of thing. Or if you're watching it here on YouTube or if this video ever ends up somewhere else on some other social media or future website, future video site, or if you're even if I'm just watching this in bed to go to sleep too on my own computer in some fashion. Because that was one of the things I started this channel for, was to find things to go to more things to go to sleep to, than just all the same stuff I've done before for years and years. But I am also posting other things on the media channels, such as I'm talking a little bit about what I think about some cartoons or, well, you know, anime. Because they're not cartoons, they're anime. Or comic books. But they're not comic books, they're manga. With real life, gripping action. And just kind of trying to give my thoughts about what kind of games there are in the world and, you know, video games. Stories going around on, well, not stories, but like manga stories, like comic stories, like video game stories, like TV stories, movie stories. I'll talk about that kind of stuff too. And yeah, if you're watching this and you're feeling bad, in your life or about things going on in the world, I hope watching this can help you feel better. Just kind of get away from it all, kind of veg out and have something to listen to that's not constant downpour of emotional trauma. It's hard to talk about with my old Pokemon videos where I'm trauma bashing you with my stories of my mother. I'm sorry about that. I believe I will do this. Yeah.
Rousing a fight, eh?
Yeah, we're rousing a fight. Get ready, because we're gonna fight. Or maybe I'll talk about some music, too. Although I could talk about some music right now. Because a song just popped in my head.
Ancient treasure, eh?
Which, technically I just realized the line of the song is not... But I was thinking it was like, fight like you mean it. But actually the song is smile like you mean it. Now I've said that, I'm going to try to think of the band that sang that song, Smile Like You Mean It. Was it the Killers? Damn, man, the Killers have some good music, you know? I didn't really like their Mr. Brightside or whatever when they first came out. Back in the aughts. It's best... I don't know, I'm not one for hooking up with hookers, you know, and the song seems to speak to me about hooking up with a hooker who's going off with another man because she's getting paid to at the moment, and even though she loves you and you love her or some such, and you guys are just like, well, this is what I do, I have to do this to make money, and I didn't like it. Jeez, how many of those relics did I pop? I didn't mean to pop them. I didn't even get anything for popping those rocks either. But the Killers have good music such as Shadow Play, which is actually their cover of an older song. They've got Bones. That's a good song. Funny looking music video too. It kind of starts out with some skeletons rising on a beach and whatnot, but it turns out it's an old movie they're watching on a old drive-in movie theater projector screen because there's these two kids on a date. Oh, that's the song. No. No, it isn't. Hold on. Since I'm in the passive skill tree, let's refund this dexterity. Hello. I did that earlier. Oh well. I guess I was wrong. Oh, because I didn't have fork equipped. Since I didn't have fork equipped, I wouldn't have noticed that dexterity requirement needed for a fork. Use the fork, Witchy. Use the fork.
When I'm ready, and not
Oh
before.
well. I tried. Let us level up again then. Oh, poor Ghosty, he vanished without possessing that monster. Ooh, God almighty. Okay. You know what, I'm sure it's the Killers that I'm thinking of that does this song, Smile Like You Mean It. But I cannot think of anything else besides the Smile Like You Mean It line in the song, to which would clue me in onto what the song is or who sings it.
Got my eye on you.
Puzzling. What do I do? What do you do when they come for you? Bad song. What you gonna do? Except it's a good song. I swear it's a good song. Of course, like I said, I can't even think of anything besides Smile Like You Mean It, so I don't even know what the other lines are. Because it goes, smile like you mean it, ooh. Smile like you mean it. But anyways, I like Shadow Play. One of the lines in that song is like, there was an open chair. You sat down in the open chair. You know, destinies collide. We'll have the time of our lives. You know, isn't it weird to know that there's people like me out there that will like a band's music, but not their one-hit wonder or the what got them famous song, but it's more their offbeat, off-branded, off pop culture reference songs. Of course, I guess it's like me with Michael Caine, I guess. Oh, jeez. I like Michael Caine, of course. But there are some of it... It's not mainly because of his pop movies or pop roles. Although, did you hear he's retiring now? Michael Caine? He's retiring from acting. But I do like offbeat movies he's done. I can't think of another one besides this one in particular, but I think my favorite movie, honestly, because I've watched it so much, might be Noises Off. Which, if you've been watching me for any number of years that I've been Let's Playing, or talking about, or anything, or if you know me, then I've talked about this movie Noises Off. I've made references to this
When
movie
I'm
Noises
ready
Off
and
with
not before.
words I say lines from the movie constantly. Not always constantly, but consciously. Constantly. Sorry, trying to avoid the static cling. And he is good at Batman, of course. Playing Alfred. Of course, did I hear something weird in the comic books? There is a couple times or two where Alfred decides to play at being the Joker for Batman, who's seemingly going through a dry spell or is so bored and out of it that he needs some motivation in his life to be Batman for a while, or just to pick himself back up from some depression or something, and Alfred decides to don the guise of Joker and commit some crime or something for him to solve. Did I hear that happens in the comic books every now and then? Ooh. I hear right now or something in the current comics, though, there's something about a war in the family, the Bat family, where Damien and Bruce... What is I read? What did I read about that? Well, what the title of the article was, there's one person that in the Bat family that Nightwing admits he has to cheat, or not Nightwing, but the well, almost youngest Robin, the Tim Drake, has to cheat and lie in order to beat this other Robin in the Bat family. Because as you may know, there's multiple Robins. I know there was a girl once, but I don't remember her name, but... Ow. Well, I'm not getting any XP from this map. But, there's Dick Grayson, who goes on to become Nightwing, who features in the story. There's Tim Drake, who actually became very popular because back in the 80s or something, they put there was a trap by the Joker which blew up a building that Robin was in, Tim Drake, and they put at the end of their comic, hey, call into this number and vote to decide if Robin, Tim Drake, lives or dies. And so many people called in, apparently, because it was like, oh my god, Robin's gonna die? But I think he died anyways.
When I'm ready, and not before.
But Tim Drake has been used many times in the Batman culture. So it's very fascinating that he's kind of the smartest of the bunch. Oh, and I forgot to say, the third Robin, Damian Wayne. Batman's son by way of Talia al Ghul. You know, and actually that brought up something I was curious about. Which I don't know, I looked into it, but I just looked up her name. I didn't look up into whether she was an actual character or anything. But the Gotham TV series that ended a few years ago, that was played and ended a few years ago with there we go. God, it took forever to die. There was because Ra's al Ghul had died very unceremoniously. Just died early on in the series that he was introduced into. Into the season he was introduced into. Of Gotham. And I'm like, well, that was boring. And anyways, back during at the end of the series, there was a point where Gotham was cut off from everyone, from the world. Because of course it gets cut off from the world every now and then. Because it becomes a danger zone, a war zone that is such a terrible land of death because of all the supervillains taking over. But, it turned out one of the engineers behind that catastrophe, making Gotham like that in that day and age, in that TV show, was a person who was supposedly... what's her name?
Long day.
You know, the one that that made the Suicide Squad in the movie. And then the point of the movie was to get to this tower where she was... Oh, Amanda... Darn, but, let's summon her to help get me some XP on her. But then actually it turned out that the person pretending to be the super important character was actually another character that I don't know if she was made just specifically for Gotham, or if she's an actual character in the story of Batman, was Nessa al Ghul,
When I'm ready,
Ra's al
and
Ghul's
not before.
older daughter. They never did introduce Talia in the Gotham TV show, but Nessa, she came out of left field, I think, but that's maybe because I just don't know her at all. I don't know if she's an actual character or just made for the TV show. Oh, I'm running out of mana. Why am I running out of mana? Oh, my... wonder I'm dying so fast and so often. I have no, regeneration from my minions.
I need more mana.
I love hunting.
Yes, you love to hunt. Einhard loves hunting. You know, let me tell you a super random story, since I'm thinking of it. Oh, God. There was a time when I was very young, and my family and family friends and I were walking through some woodlands, up near this vacation house my family has, or had. Or did we still have? Oh. I don't even know where it was, but, somewhere, in the woods. We were in the woods walking somewhere. And now, one of my family friends, teenagers, decide, "Oh, Andrew, you better run, there's a bear." Okay. And I take off running. As a kid. Little kid running. Which I remember was very awkward. I don't know why I ran like that. I wasn't a good runner for... well... actually, I was never a good runner as a kid, but... I never liked running as a kid. I didn't know why. Anyways, so I'm running. And they're like, "Andrew, keep running, keep running." And I'm running and running. And I'm running and running. Because there's a bear, of course, so I don't want to be caught by a bear.
We will be best friends, Beast, until we slaughter you.
So I get to the end of the trail. And I've run all the way to the end of the trail. I'm like, and I turn around and I'm like, "No, there's no bear. No bear now, I guess I got away." Oh, wait. Where's everybody else? I'm like, oh no. I ran away from them. Or did the bear get them, or some... I don't know. Then I wait a minute. I guess I waited another minute or so, and maybe I heard them coming. But they come around the corner of the trail, and I'm like, "Andrew, why do you run so far?" Family's mad. "Andrew, you ran so far. You ran so far away." And I'm like, "Yeah, there's a bear." And I kind of get the feeling they had their tongue in their cheek at the time, because there was probably not a bear. But I just ran all that way. All the way up the trail. Away from the bear. And away from my family and friends. So that was funny. That's a funny memory. Well, it's not a funny memory, but it's a memory that I laugh at now. Because I'm like, "Oh, kid Andrew. Oh, that kid. Did something so cute and funny for a kid. Mildly dangerous, but, nothing happened." This snake's a little hard to kill. What is he gaining life off of, size off of? Oh well, we're killing him anyways. Die, snake, die. Die, viper. Ooh, I'm dying. Wow, I'm really running out of mana here. Why am I running out of mana? Do I not have life tab equipped? I have it equipped. Oh, spell cast, right. Cast on whatever. I forget that, all those spells I cast, Flame Wall, the Ice Nova, or Vortex even, is, costing me mana on top of my attack, which is using life to attack with. You know, honestly, I've noticed also that the, other cast on damage and whatnot also cast your spell, so if you don't have any mana, you're not casting that spell. When you, even though you have it socketed up to cast on whatever. Now I know why this damn snake's getting so strong, so much life. He keeps summoning a bunch of damn birds to attack me, or bats. Like right there. Then also his red monster essence keeps summoning more snakes to fight with him. Just getting more and more life from those. God, he must have 200 monsters worth of life on him now. Come on, Snakey. You know, an interesting boss in a video game is the first boss of Star Tropics. Oh god. He's an interestingly big snake. He sits in a cave, but he's so coiled up in the cave and he's so big, he basically only has his head hovering over some water and blocks that you can jump on in that game, in that room, to fight him with. And he can barely fight you. He could bite you, I suppose, or run into you, or coil around you if he wanted to. But he doesn't want to get in the water, so he's just kind of hanging his head over the water like dangling a little snake off a tree. Or dangling off the edge of the cliff you can jump to later on when you beat him. So his main method of attack is to spit fireballs at you, because he's a spitting snake. He spits fireballs. Okay, excuse me for that cut. I just had to cough a little bit. Had a bad cough. And the snake, it's a spitting snake. Spits fireballs, of course. In a straight row. Right at you. So, well, straight down the middle of the room. So, what you're doing is you're jumping between these three platforms. One in the middle, one on the left, one on the right. And you can either go up to him and whack him, or you can stand back in the middle row and throw some weapons at him. But what I love is so fascinating about this boss. He's so beloved. In the second game, near the end of the second game, they bring him back as an undead snake boss. So you get to fight him again. I love that. That was so cute. I do in some fashion like games that reuse assets like that, or reuse ideas, or just stuff like Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask. That was cool. And Paper Mario and Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door. It is cool to see the similarities between the games, where the points of interest where they reuse assets, like in Paper Mario, the Tutton Koopa. He does that ooey, ghosty, wavy text blocks in his speech bubbles. And then also in Paper Mario the Thousand-Year Door, where'd that monster go? You get the same ooey, wavy text blocks inside the Cortez's cave on Keel Hall Key. Because he's a ghost and he's doing the same ooey, spooky, I'm a ghost thing, and I'm gonna blah 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 blah. And it's cool to use. I think it's cool to reuse assets like that to share points of interest between games and interesting.
When I'm ready, and not before.
Like, I mean, you know, Legend of Zelda. It's the same thing. Link is a reused asset. Link and Zelda, again, are reused assets. Essentially. So, hold on. And they make for some nice foils to each other. You get interesting, different things between them and about them, and you grow and learn different, new, interesting things about them as you go along in the series. Or you get to root for the same guy over and over again. That's an interesting amulet. Do I want that? I could. Maybe not. Well, it's been a nice talking episode, I think. Not much done, but I leveled up once. That's good enough for an episode, right? What I would have liked is if... Well, I got to show off the new armor, boosting up my energy shield and my life so much. Because now I have 1200 life, or before I had 500, and... I don't know if I showed off much with the tree. What I would do with the tree? Gee, I don't know. I mean... You could kind of go over here to get towards this, and this, go over here to this, but... Also, I could go over to the gate, which once you allocate 2 passive points to the 2 different sides of the gateway, you can just kind of go between them and cut out this. I'm kind of already here, so just 2 more and I'm already up into this metamorph branch. Oh, what happened here? This looks different. Your maps have 40% chance to contain a random master encounter. Modifiers the chance to grant an additional mana. Instead, apply the chance for that master to be 50% of the... Oh. Interesting. So it's the same, you could choose these 4 to double their chance of being in your map, or completing from the map. Plus, you can also take this keystone and do a little bit more. Do something a little bit different with your master mission gaining. Well, I'll talk more about this later. I'll leave this here and now, everyone. Until next time, take care of yourselves and have fun. Bye-bye, everyone.